Okay, we're doing a sound check.
Mic check 1 2. Mic
Are
check
you going to be yelling
1
like
2.
this when you talk?
No, I'm probably gonna talk more like this.
That's how a mic check should be done.
Okay. Well, hi, hello. How is everybody?
I don't know if everyone's going to be as high as you are right now. However, amen to trying.
There's always trying, and it's not gonna kill anybody, no matter how hard they try.
Yeah, you know, peanuts still kill more people than cannabis.
That's true. That's true.
It's true. Those are facts.
Mm-hmm.
We have a couple of topics here ready to go. Did you have any to add to this?
Well, let's get into them, and then we'll see.
And then we'll see how it branches off. Sounds like a plan. So, let's start from the bottom up. Make it interesting. Keep my mind going while I'm super baked. So, Alberta auditor flags 1.6 billion in government accounting blunders and oversight problems. So basically, Alberta got audited and was flagged 1.6 billion in government issues that are a big no-no because that's a lot of money.
That's quite a bit of money.
Yeah. And the news article was kind of explaining it as no one really had an answer for him.
Huh.
So it was super, like I read this a couple days ago and then I couldn't remember what the headline was, so it took me forever to find it again because I wanted to bring it up because I looked through some of the comments on, I think it was on CBC, and the people were like, see, this is what we fucking mean. Like, this is, people are talking about the Americans and how fucked it is over there, but Canada's not really much better in the sense where the people that are elected in office are kind of a big joke and making mistakes that like a regular person would do with like working at a small-time job.
What do you expect? They're just regular people. They're not.
If that's the case, then they should be
like okay.
paid
If
a
that's the
regular
case,
wage.
well, okay. The Prime Minister of Canada. What's his past qualifications? He's a fucking drama teacher, a high school drama teacher. You tell me he's not a fucking average Joe?
I had to Google that because I didn't believe you guys when you told me.
He's just an average Joe, man. I'm telling you. He didn't go to school to become a politician.
You're stoned already. Oh, let's give you guys an update on how today was. Realstonned went to a restaurant with some friends and I. Had 200 milligrams of edibles before arriving to the restaurant. Took to the restaurant a 250 milligram drink mix liquid thingy, basically weed lean, and then is now, after smoking a joint to the face, eating another 200 milligrams of edibles. So I'm no mathematician, but I know that equates to a lot of cannabis in one day. But hey, I'm jelly because I can't handle that much. I am like an extreme lightweight. Is that the correct term?
Well, you know, when you're already in the rabbit hole, what else can you do? What's the worst that's going to happen?
If there was cannabis Olympics, I would be like the first level and I could barely get through that. You would be like one of the top 3. I don't know if you would be number 1. You got to be humble. There's a chance you might be number 1, but it's a 1 in 3 chance. And I think you would definitely be able to do a lot of things the common person can't.
I think if everybody in the world tried and I got like top 10,000, that'd be pretty cool.
Right? It'd be cool.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we're meant to do, babe. Cannabis Olympics.
Well, yeah, there goes another 200 milligrams. It just tastes so good.
Cannabis does, yeah.
Yummy, 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 yummy. Get in my tummy. Something. I fucked that up. I fucked it up good.
Yeah, so Alberta's got some explaining to do as to where that 1.6 billion has gone to. I don't know if we're ever going to know what actually happened, like most fuck-ups the government does. However, I am going to try to follow that and see where it goes. Because it'd be interesting.
Fucking Kenny. Ask Kenny.
I think it goes
That's
straight,
fucking.
goes straight to voicemail, I think, at this point for that
Yeah?
man.
Okay. Well, everyone knows I'm baked. So my cotton mouth quencher, my pasty quencher, the thing that's helping me keep speaking to all you beautiful people is this red apple juice. And the juice itself is not red apple juice. The company is Red Apple. And I'm drinking their organic raspberry apple juice. And these guys are certified organic by the BC ARA, and it's just great juice, everything from them. Really good stuff.
I didn't realize they were from BC. That's cool.
Nothing added, just from concentrate. Or, sorry, not from concentrate. Not from concentrate. I just wanted to give them a shout out because I've been drinking their stuff.
You give them a shout out, then you talk shit, and
it's been really good. It's been really good. It's been really good stuff. In fact, I'm gonna have another swig here.
Leading on to our next topic, I guess. This is kind of a sad one. I was very sad when I read this. Domestic violence is on the rise in Edmonton. Between January 1st and November 2nd, 2020, Edmonton police have responded to just over 7,800 domestic violence calls. That's a 16% increase from the same period in 2019, when officers fielded more than 6,700 of those calls. So that 16% doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're talking about big numbers, it does.
Well, that's what happens when you're cooped up with people all day. You just need some
Yeah.
space, and then you can't go outside because everything's quarantined.
So if anyone listening to this, I hope not, but if anyone listening to this is in a situation where they feel like there is domestic violence, feel free to reach out to us, or if you know of somewhere that can help people that are in that situation, comment on a video, like make a note. You never know who could see it, and it could save someone from a really bad situation.
I guess it's not like the States where you can just go get a gun and finish it. Here, there's a lot of laws.
I want to also note, too, that even though this says Edmonton police responded to just over 7,800 domestic violence calls, I feel like as a society, we tend to think that's women calling the police for domestic abuse, but it could also be the other way around.
Well, I mean, it could just be neighbors calling a lot of stuff in too, because they're all fucking pissed off about noise too. And shit like
absolutely. But do you remember that one time we actually had to call the cops over our downstairs neighbor in that condo? And we ended up finding out, the officer told us, I'm not supposed to mention it, but Buddy was pretty banged up, so it was a good thing you guys called.
Yeah, we're not going to mention his badge number or nothing like that on the air, but...
No. Not that I have it. It was a phone call.
Build it up to be a better experience for the listener there.
No, I don't want to lie about stuff. I want to just be honest. But... yeah, it goes both ways. It doesn't necessarily just mean a woman getting beat by a man.
I never claimed you had the badge number. I was just saying we won't say it on the air. Touche. But yeah, if you know someone that needs help, or you are someone that needs help, just reach out. You'd be surprised how many people are out there willing to help you. You just have to ask. Yeah, it just got serious so quickly.
I warned you that it was a sad thing that I brought up. I'm sorry. We'll go to the next one then. Okay. The next topic I have here is kind of another sad one. Sorry. Alberta's unemployment rate is now one of the highest in Canada before and now during COVID. So it is now, and it was before. I was actually really surprised to read that the unemployment rate was one of the highest in Canada even before COVID here.
Even before COVID?
Yeah. Now, I don't know if that, unemployment rates have a lot. People just think it's just what the word is, but there's a lot defining that, and I don't want to get into that. But it blows me away reading stuff like that when you look at people's spending habits right now. Everyone's kind of saying they're broke because of COVID, but no one is actually acting as if they are broke. And it leads me to question, like, does the average person really have that bad spending habits? I'm not saying I'm perfect either. I spend money on things I shouldn't.
I'm horrible.
However,
I'm horrible.
I still, like, priorities are still the bills and a mortgage / rent, utilities, like, those are priorities. Not getting the brand new iPhone that's coming out, getting these new consoles that are coming out.
I buy
when
way
you can't
too
even
much
cover
kid
your
snacks
rent.
for somebody that doesn't have
Kid
kids.
snacks, yes, that is very true. You know,
I
sometimes
don't have kids, but I buy all the kid snacks.
I once had to lie at the... Okay, I didn't have to lie at the grocery store. I chose to lie and go with it. But the lady's ringing through all these juice boxes. Because when we go buy juice boxes, it's like six like packs of 12 at a time. Because this man is hooked on this... Congratulations for not smoking pop. Or not smoking pop. Sorry, baked. But
can you smoke it?
Congrats on not drinking pop anymore, but now you've got a new fucking addiction. And it's juice boxes.
Smoke pop?
Sorry, I got sidetracked there.
Oop, I
all
almost
the
put
emotion. So yeah, she's scanning through all of these juice boxes and she's like, "Oh, getting ready for the kids, hey?" And I'm like, "Excuse me?" And she goes, "Oh, you know, COVID," because this was like back when COVID was still kind of starting off. And everyone was like mass shopping fucking toilet paper. And she's like, "Yeah, you know, you're getting ready for COVID, for the quarantine maybe, you know, all the kids' juice boxes." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah. My son loves it." I had to. I just had to, because I wasn't, for whatever reason, saying, "Oh, no, that's for like my husband and I," because I do indulge in them sometimes. I couldn't do it. I had to lie to the lady. That branched off from what?
I don't know. I can branch it off even further. Like last night, before I went to bed, I was watching TV and sitting in bed eating ice cream out of the tub.
No, the best part was you came to bed with the tub, okay? You sat down and I'm like, "You're going all out tonight." And you're like, no, there's not even half left. You open the tub and there's like just over half left. You look down and you look at me and you're like, "Fuck, she's noticed. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to have to eat it all like a man now." And you did. You finished it all, didn't you?
At that point, I knew I was all in.
You were eating soup by the end of it because that took a while to finish.
No, it was fine.
It was, damn. And that is actually... That's the dairy-free Breyers, I believe it's called. Cookies and cream. And guys... I know if you don't...
It's got the chunk pieces of Oreo cookies there
cream.
and the pieces of the sandwich from the
so
sandwich ice cream bars. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty awesome.
It is so good. I know most people...
Highly recommended.
Probably don't care about dairy-free stuff.
But for anybody that cares about the dairy-free ice cream stuff, about what's going on in my life, my all-time number one is the...
cashew?
The cashew salted caramel by So Delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, that's some good shit.
It's cashew ice cream with cashew chunks, caramel drizzle, and is there something? I feel like there's more to it. I just can't remember.
There's got magic in there somewhere because like it is the creamiest non-dairy ice cream that I've ever tried in my life.
I know.
I want some now.
I know. That's why I stopped and I was like, I know. We're talking about it and now it's a craving. Fuck. See what you did?
I'm way too high to go drive to the store to get some too.
Yeah, no, that ain't happening. I'm sorry.
I'll have to skip the dishes.
That's not on skip the dishes. I'll add
Call
it
the
to
guy
my
at 7-Eleven.
grocery
Listen, I got an order coming.
7-Eleven
can you
doesn't
throw
have
this
that.
in the order? Can you throw it in there?
Go to Sobeys though and pick it up first, and then throw it in my order.
I'll tip extra big.
This next topic is kind of a part, I guess, of that other one. Well, not really. It's just related to COVID. Apparently, there is now a different type of quarantining you can do. Like, there's a quarantine option. So before, people that traveled from outside of Canada coming back in would have to go and quarantine for 2 weeks or so. So, like, if you booked an all-inclusive vacation to go to Jamaica, you could go and you could come back. But when you come back, you have to quarantine for 2 weeks until you can, like,
But
go out and resume daily life.
They don't make you quarantine on the way there?
It depends on where you're going. If Jamaica doesn't have any mandatory quarantine, then you
Okay,
don't.
it kind of like assumes like...
Yeah, you have to assume the legislation basically in the country, city, town, whatever that you're going into. So instead now, if you fly in through Calgary, you only have to quarantine when... I'm trying to explain this, but I'm baked.
I was going to do a good podcast, but then I got high. Ooh.
I think I got it. Calgary might test out a new option. So when you fly into Canada from a different country, instead of having to wait a full 2 weeks to do or not wait to do a quarantine, but do a quarantine for 2 full weeks, you can now take a test at the airport and you quarantine until your test results. So if your test results come back and you don't have COVID, then you can go back to work in like 3-4 days after arriving back in the country.
Okay.
I thought that was super interesting. I don't know if they've already started this because I read this almost a week or 2 ago. Actually, I read this before we went back home. Which, by the way, when we flew back home, it was pretty outrageous to see how full the plane was.
Packed.
It
Just
was
packed. Each time,
yeah.
each way.
The airports being such a big building, it really felt empty because normally those airports are just packed. So it really makes you notice how much this has impacted the world, because a place like an airport is empty. Even places like hospitals are normally quite full with not only patients but like their family, friends. And hospitals now, it's like there's no one other than the nurses, the doctors, and the people that are admitted.
It's very strict, yeah.
Yeah, there are still some hospitals or small towns, or I don't know. I'm sure there's somewhere places that you can still go visit a relative in a hospital while they're staying there. But I honestly don't know a single one. Not saying there isn't, but I wouldn't know. So this could definitely open up travel for a lot more people that I think have a travel bug and it's getting angry because they haven't been able to travel.
Well, and wintertime's just about to show its face here. And like everybody loves to go somewhere warm when the cold hits here.
I definitely would love to see this as an option because it would make a lot of people... It gives a lot of people the choice of whether or not they want to risk catching it in order to travel. I'm not here to judge people that do or don't. I'm just here for, I'm neutral in the way that if people need it for their mental health, fucking A. It's not hurting me. As long as if they test positive for COVID, they do the appropriate thing that society needs us all to do it. That's how I see it.
I mean, that definitely is something to think about, because you got to think about it like this. You're going on vacation. That time you're going there, you're not here earning money to pay for your bills, like your rent and stuff, right? Your car payment and all that. So if you have to quarantine for, up to 2 weeks, let's say, when you come back until your results are there, which realistically it's not that long. It's probably like up to a week. And then, 2 weeks before would really, that's like, say you're going for 2 weeks to Cuba. You got to quarantine before you're going for 2 weeks. That's a month right there. It'd be nice to speed up that process on your way back. I think a lot of people would appreciate that and go for that.
It's interesting to see how things are going to start evolving, because they really are just pushing COVID to never go away, from what I can sense at least. Being that we're in November, I read this online and I thought it's appropriate to talk about. Well, it's inappropriate, but it's appropriate for the month. Whole Foods. Are you familiar with Whole Foods?
I know exactly what you're going to say. Yeah, I'll let you keep going.
Oh, no. No, let's see if it's the same thing. What am I going to say?
The poppy thing?
Yes. What was your reaction when you read about this?
Honestly, I was confused because I didn't think I didn't ever see anybody complaining about it. It's not something I thought people would complain about. It's like because people want to complain about everything now. I guess you have this like these Karens, like you say. There you go. They don't want their employees wearing poppies for Remembrance Day and stuff, which is basically since like as long as I can remember, like as a kid in like elementary school.
Yeah.
Those things were a thing.
For anyone that doesn't know about Whole Foods poppy thing, Whole Foods, I believe at the beginning of the week, brought a policy banning Canadian employees from wearing the poppy as part of their uniform. I read an update saying that they changed that because they had the Toronto mayor, Doug Ford, call them out in one of his speeches earlier this week after this story came out. And so it's interesting to hear what your perspective is on it, because the perspective that I got was completely different. I actually was on board with everyone like being a Karen in the sense where Whole Foods is an American company that has stores in Canada. When you have stores in different countries, there are certain laws that you have to abide by. Obviously, this isn't a law, but it's respect towards that country. I feel like if Canada was...
Well, they want to come here and they want to make money from our economy, but they don't want to do anything. They don't want to just show the simplest fucking part of gratitude for the people who fucking served for this country.
But that's the thing is people underestimate how many how many American companies are in Canada. Most of the major ones are from the States. Like, they're not Canadian companies.
Yeah, but this is the first one that I've ever heard of.
Exactly. That's what makes it such a big deal, because it's like everyone else can be respectful with this certain thing. Why are you guys throwing a hissy fit over it?
Damn straight, if a Canadian company goes to any other country, they're going to adhere to whatever the country's like. Oh, man. Yeah.
I thought... how silly is it for
I don't support wars, but I support veterans. So it's like that's my angle on it. You know what I mean?
How silly is it that you as a company say such a strong no to people? And I think there were people commenting saying that they worked there or they knew someone that worked there that was like getting written up because they didn't want to adhere to this policy. They wanted to wear their poppy because one of their grandparents was a veteran. I don't know if any of this is true,
oh my God.
But there were people commenting that, right? Like, a lot of people could say they know someone there and know no one. They're just adding fuel to the fire. However, I did read it, so if that is true, that's even more horrible than just saying no to the poppy. It's just a part of our culture here, and it's a part of the history of the country that your company resides in and profits in. Be respectful.
Fucking respect isn't it's like common sense now, man. It's not around anymore like it used to.
No, especially in America.
Yeah.
No offense to any American listeners. I have some great people in my life that are American, and I have nothing against those people because they're good people. There's shitty people everywhere, but the States, you guys, you really make it publicly known. Like, it's really just hard to not notice it.
Biden now. Oof.
This election...
Okay, I just want to say it. All you guys saying you're going to leave the States?
They said that with Trump, too.
I know, but now they're saying, because Trump didn't win, now they're saying they're going to leave the country. Don't come to Canada. You're not going to like our gun laws.
And you're not going to want to wear a poppy, and we're going to be upset about it. The next topic I am super excited about. I'm not sure if people know or not, so I'll refresh their memory. We have a fur family. We don't have kids. We have pets that basically are our children. Anywho, two of which are dogs, and they're both pit bulls. They're not technically both pit bulls. One of them is an American pit bull terrier. The other one is a mix, so she's technically just a bully breed. She's not pit bull. But I say this because Denver voters lifted a 30-year ban on pit bulls the other day.
Yeah.
These poor dogs have been banned there for 30 fucking years, and now people finally voted for them to be allowed to own them. This was like the best thing I've read this week.
You know, here's an idea. Stop banning dogs.
Yeah.
Can we start coming up with a system here where we ban bad owners from being allowed to have dogs? Like, if you're a shitty fucking owner, you lose your fucking right as a citizen of Canada to fucking have a dog.
A pet license should literally be a pet license.
You know what I mean? It should be something that
shouldn't-
can be revoked.
Yeah.
That's how it should be. Because then, like, you get these people who are just repeat offenders too.
So pet licensing, I don't know if you know, a lot of people hate licensing their pets, but it's actually a really good thing to do because it's a way for them to not only track the animal, but the owner as well. Originally,
Big brother.
Big brother? It is. It technically is. However,
It's not my fucking brother.
that's how the government said, here, we're going to do this pet licensing thing. It's going to be great for the pets because it's also going to keep owners accountable. And if you guys fucking abuse them, it's going to be tracked some way, somehow. And then they put it into effect, charge us for it, and it's not used to the system. So shame on you guys for not doing your fucking jobs. However, I agree. There should be some sort of system set in place so that people that can't have or that shouldn't have animals because they are neglectful and irresponsible and just fucking abusive can't have an animal. In Ontario, I believe they're still banned. I'm not sure of any other places in Canada. I know in Montreal, I believe, or in Quebec, and as in Quebec in general, they tried banning
That's how
them.
it is, though, man. Like like they do with different dog breeds throughout different times.
Yeah.
They did to the German Shepherds, to the Rotties, a couple other dog breeds as well had it as well, issues, and it just goes down to piss poor training, piss poor owners, and people who don't give a damn. You know, how a dog acts is a great reflection of its owner.
Yeah, and speaking from dog owners, again, we're far from perfect dog owners. That doesn't exist anyways, but training really does not ever stop. It's kind of like having a kid in that sense. It's not like once your kid is 4 years old and going to school, you can stop teaching it because the teacher's got it all. No,
Yeah.
you have to keep going. A dog obviously doesn't go to school. However, people just think of the puppy stage as teaching and they just stop from there. Oh, my dog can sit, stay, give me its paw, and go play fetch. It's good enough. No, your dog needs to be stimulated. You need to really put an effort in because the more effort you put, the greater the reward from that dog will be.
Yeah.
I don't know if that works for cats too, but hey.
I don't know if there's such thing already that we know, like, about cat behavior. Like, if it's...
There are cat behaviorists out there and
Yeah.
like really knowledgeable people with
And
training cats.
they're real behavioralists, and they're not just some lady with 30 cats in her house. Like,
I mean, that's a cat behavior
she's
in
like,
itself.
I'm the cat whisperer.
Meanwhile, she goes to pick up Lucy, and Lucy tries to claw her face off of her fucking neck. But hey, you know, she loves her cats.
Lucy, what's wrong?
I can't, like, I don't know why I find it so funny to see, like, the cat videos where it's just a cat walking across, like, a fucking gate or fence, and they just see a squirrel or a bird, and they just fucking take off. Like, those things can jump like crazy. People underestimate how a cat can jump if it really fucking wants to. It's crazy. That's how most of them get stuck in trees.
They're crazy.
But are they really stuck? I think they're just like, damn, like, this is hella nice. I don't want to go down. All the cats that we've had, I'm pretty sure if they went up to a tree
They
like,
find it easier to go up than it is down.
I guess, but
Because
they
going
have
down, they go
claws.
slow. You know, they're like, "Ooh, how do I do this?" And going up, they just run and do it. They just sink their nails into it and they go up. but going down, you have your weight pushing you down, you know, so it's a lot harder because it's not like, you know, they and theoretically they're not a species that is going to climb down backwards. You know what I mean?
Hey,
So
they
they
do
can
have
stay
9
hooked in.
lives. Maybe that's why.
No, that's why they just jump though. They just jump and they just land on their feet.
Yeah.
They don't even roll like a human. They're just like, look at me, I'm badass. Look at my knees, they can take this shit.
It is super cool though how they almost always like land on all fours. It's crazy.
Yeah, and you know what? I think they do that because like, as humans, you can't really just put a cat down. You just have to kind of like let it fall. There's no way to really, you know what I mean? Like, you can try, but it's not gonna let you.
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah.
I don't know if Joey's all wrapped up in a blanket, I can put him down, but that's because he's not frailing out. He's contained. So you're right. It's very difficult to put a cat down without it jumping out.
It's just an animal like that. It's like a fish. Try putting down a fish. Mm-hmm. It's gonna want to fucking flip around and fucking, yeah.
The last topic that I have, I don't know if you have any other ones that you want to go over. This one's kind of a roll the eyes topic. So, Kim Kardashian turned 40 recently.
Okay. How long before? I can't.
Before I even go there, it's crazy that Kanye, like, I just realized if Kanye had actually won, she would be the first lady. Does that not just irk you?
No, I'm really surprised that he hasn't walked up to CNN and pulled the mic from somebody and been like, I'm gonna let you finish.
But I would have been the best president of all time. Oh.
I really don't want to derail this, but you know, I watched the episode of him on the Joe Rogan podcast recently, and he had such energy that he was so sure that he was going to win. I mean, he did say, like, if I don't win this one, I'm for sure winning the next presidential election.
Have you never heard the saying, like, you gotta love yourself like Kanye loves Kanye?
Well, who doesn't want to have the president love them like Kanye loves Kanye? Like, it ends up being a win-win.
It's a win-win.
And you know, he's getting older, so he's getting wiser. His wife just turned 40. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. I think Kanye's, let me check, I gotta look it up. I'm not actually sure, but I think he's 43. He's 43, yeah. As fucked up as I am, I can still recall information like that and get it right. Okay, so he's 43, she's 40, you know. They're getting older now, you know. They're not the same. He's not he's not the same guy making the high school college dropout.
I truly believe that 40 is the new 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember growing up, everyone's like 30 is such a big year.
Maybe it's because there's a lot more bullshit in this world that we got to get through.
Maybe.
Before we can actually start fucking doing our
Now
own
I'm
shit.
just like, we're going to be 30 next year. And I'm just like, meh, I don't really give a fuck. When I turn 40, to me, it's going to be like, okay, I'm a mature fucking adult.
He actually
now.
got 1% of the vote.
Yeah. People were talking about how, considering everything, he actually did.
Oh, actually, now that there's more stuff counted, he got 0.3%.
Oh.
According to Google, unless they're trying to censor him.
Who knows? Who knows?
But 1,266 people voted for Kanye West.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, that's still pretty good. He basically got like
how many people? 1,000 something?
1,266 people.
That sounds like friends, family, and anyone that works for him, because he told them, if you don't vote for me, I'll find out and I'll let. Is that
how do you think it was at Kim's birthday for her 40th?
Oh,
you think it was
shit.
Like, who are you gonna vote for? And she was like, obviously Kanye.
Yeah.
They're like, but you're not gonna vote for Trump, or you're not gonna vote for Biden, or whoever her friends are like, voting for and shit. I don't know, man.
Speaking...
Kanye let Howie Hawkins get ahead of him, though. Gotta get ahead of him next year, Kanye. Oh, I meant the next election, yeah.
Even though that kind of derailed, that was a funny derailment, so I'll allow it.
So she's 40 now, eh? So what were you saying about her party?
Kim is 40, and for her birthday,
it's hard to keep up with the Kardashians.
But
keep me posted. What's going on now?
it's going to be the last season apparently, because they make more money off of an Instagram post than they do off a fucking season. I cannot believe that. The world. Anyways, so 40th birthday, she wanted to do this birthday bash on an island, which, it's Kim Kardashian. That's what she fucking does almost every year. No biggie.
What happens if Instagram stops though?
Anywho, so she did this birthday bash, but where people got like insanely upset, well, they got upset at that too, but she flew out 40 or so family and friends to this private island on these private jets, and no one was wearing a mask. No one, like, no COVID precautions seem to have been done.
How do we know all this? Isn't it supposed to be a private jet? It's supposed to be all private.
It's the Kardashians. They posted all the pictures.
Well, I mean...
So, and then it happens to be Kendall's birthday a couple days later or something, or during, I don't know. Kendall throws a Halloween party. It's her birthday. She's shown, obviously not wearing a mask, blowing out her candles. And the waiter at the restaurant is going, like, backing up because he's like, she's blowing shit in my face.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it'd probably be really fucking hard to blow out your candles with a mask on.
They apparently had members of the family, like one of the sisters had COVID. I can't remember who it was. So, and this was like all in around like a month's time. So people are losing their shit. And they're saying like, it's one thing for Kim to go to a private island with all her friends and all that shit and celebrate her birthday. It's another to blast it all over social media and like rub it in everyone's faces that she's so privileged. She doesn't have to quarantine. She can she can continue life the way she always has lived. And it's no different for her when everyone else is basically suffering.
Man, it's almost insane to think that she could have been the first lady.
Maybe that's why people didn't vote for Kanye.
What is... Oh, man. Can you imagine? Trump was always on Twitter. It would have been the new first lady was always on Instagram. Posting shit.
Yeah, and then the day that... Like, leading up to the election, a lot of celebrities were pushing for votes. Like, a lot of them were posting about please vote and the I voted sticker and all that stuff. And she wasn't doing a lot of that. Instead, she was like promoting one of her like clothing, makeup, I don't know, one of her product lines. And people were like, really, Kim, you go away for your birthday? Oh yeah, Kanye spent like $1 million apparently on a hologram of Kim's father that passed away years ago.
Oh, that's nice.
And people are losing their shit over that too.
On her birthday, she could see her dad.
And they're losing their shit over that too. They're like, again, another, like, it's one thing to do all that, but it's another thing to blast it all over social media and just rub your money in people's faces.
I get that. But if the same people saying that were in their shoes, they'd probably be posting it too, because everybody posts everything in their fucking lives on social media.
The reason I'm bringing it up is kind of along that line. Is it's just so interesting how people will talk so much shit about them, but yet that's what's keeping them alive. Like, if people really didn't want to hear about them like they say, they would stop following. These people wouldn't have tens of millions of followers, because if no one really liked them, no one would be following them. You wouldn't want to waste your time looking at them. But it's so interesting how people lead a completely different life online than they do in real life. It's almost like we all have a multiple personality disorder, and one is our true form, our true self, that with psychedelics, it hits you more and more in the face and you become better. Or you are overly consumed by your social media accounts that you become this completely different person for social media. So much so you have influencers on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, anywhere that there's a social media platform. And they themselves are on there with a video titled, "This is my true self," and they're like, yeah, like, I'm not who I look like or what I say on social media.
There's a Japanese proverb that basically says that people have three faces, and the first face is what you show the world, the second face is what you show your close friends, and your third face is you never show anybody, you know? So your second one's like your close friends and family, and your third is the one you only fucking even sometimes show yourself. Mm-hmm. You know? But definitely, everybody's showing their first face there on social media.
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely.
So this day and age, I feel like it's a very confusing thing to say that you're not going to be on social media. The reason I say that is, for me, previously, I've done blackouts on certain social media platforms, and it wasn't so much the things I was doing on the social media platforms. Like, it wasn't that I was enjoying some articles a lot or looking at videos a lot. No, it's the connection. It was the connection of seeing something that someone posted about their personal life that I otherwise would not know without it being on social media. Like, people that we physically can't see because we're in a different province, family, friends. It's nice to still have that connection, to still see those photos, to see whatever, how their day's going. Like, it's cool in that sense. Where it got really shitty is with all of these companies bombarding us with all the background noise. And that's what's causing the increase with young people wanting to commit suicide because they're being bullied online, or like, it's just put so much propaganda in front of us. It's taking something that could be such a good connection tool and making it so evil.
But social media is about engagement, nothing else.
It is about engagement, but it's engaging us in things that we should not be engaged in at the same time.
I absolutely agree, but that's kind of like, these companies go after what makes them money. They don't really care about what's right and what's wrong. You think the guys who, for instance, are behind certain things, like certain products, you think they let their own kids use those products? No. It happens all the time.
It's true. I know off the top of my head, Steve Jobs, the big boy at Apple, he didn't let his kids use electronic devices for a long time until they were a certain age, I believe. And
a lot of people, right, in the social media companies, they know that
Yeah.
it's like it's developed to affect our brains in a certain way, so that it's like
Yeah.
we fucking can't stop.
The Social Dilemma is a pretty good
Yeah,
documentary
it's a
on
great way.
Netflix.
It's a great way of thinking about it, yeah.
Yeah.
And watching a video that's good about it.
I think as a human race, just in general, we've become too trusting of things that shouldn't be trusted, and have stopped trusting ourselves and each other the way we should. Speaking from my own need of improvement, I'm so quick to think of the negative thing or the negative outcome in any situation. Like, my brain just automatically goes to the negative. And I think just generally as a society, because of all the stress that we lead in our daily lives, we all think that way. It just right away clicks to negative.
Yeah.
And we just need to take a step back and be mindful that, there are still a lot of really great people out there. Sometimes people are just trying to do the right thing. Social media takes away that gauge of whether or not someone deserves to be treated like shit, or if they don't. And even then, does anyone really deserve to be treated like shit? I think someone posted in one of our group chats about there's mental illness isn't the beginning. Drug use isn't the beginning of just nothing. It's the stem from mental illness. So, like, it's not like but basically people that take harsh drugs, most of them, if not all of them, is because of severe mental illness that was not treated with the care that it needs to be treated with. You've heard me say it a lot. I've pissed some people off saying it too, but everyone's a little bit fucking crazy. It's just whether or not that person knows what type of crazy they are and tries to be better.
Yeah. As long as you're trying to be better every day, that's all that matters, in my opinion.
Yeah. No one is perfect. We all die. nothing is eternal nothing lasts forever on the sense of what we have, at least in this realm, if there are others. So, and no one knows what is out there after this. No one. So what would be the moral of the story?
Of which story? The specific one or the entire podcast?
Let's do the entire podcast and finish it off.
The entire podcast?
Yeah.
Just, try to be better people every day.
Yeah. Just do one nice thing for someone else.
Try not to give weird vibes like Biden, and just try to be a better person every day. Also, I think there might even be some, I don't know how you would call it, but maybe something like bloopers behind the scenes.
All I hear is more things for me to edit. Don't get me wrong.
I was being interviewed on mic, and I thought it was for the podcast.
It was, but my phone did not handle it.
Oh, scrap everything I was saying. We need a fact checker on this podcast, because what I just said is false. It's not a true fact. So don't take that. And
I am going to try to keep more of the podcast in, like you said, to see. I just don't want it to be too long, but fuck
I think
it.
this next podcast I'm going to have to just bite the bullet and redo it the other way, how we did on the recording. Anyhow, signing off.
Peace out, everyone.
Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Sorry for the big delay, and sorry for not having any episodes up.
It's been a couple of weeks. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, but hey, we're glad to be back with a new one for you guys to listen to. And I think we're going to aim for either the next podcast or the one after to have a guest speaker. We have a couple of people that we think would be really awesome. Maybe one of them over the phone or over Zoom. I don't know. This is going to get very technical for me, but I'll figure it out. Nighty night, everyone. Or good morning, depending on when you're listening.
Indeed.
Peace out.